Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel where we're back with a tactical preview, but importantly, another live stream. The fourth of the week, 3 here on YouTube, 1 over on Discord. It's been a busy week before Christmas, leading up to Christmas. But the support this week has been absolutely incredible, so I thought we'd go live again. And today, talk about Manchester United versus West Ham. What can we expect from the game? Now, I've done a tactical preview on this morning, but I thought this afternoon we would discuss this a bit more in depth. You guys can have your say on who you think should start, who should be dropped, you know, what sort of tactics we should be looking at, all of that good stuff. And then also, towards the end, we also have a Christmas quiz made by FP, who I see in the chat already. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Thanks for making the quiz. We'll get on to that later. Renato, good to see you. I hope you're well. Edwin, Edem, good to see you both. I hope you're both well. My 2 new members from the last stream, I believe, or maybe the one before. Welcome to everybody who's joining. How do I pronounce your name? The person who's just said hello, AJ. How do I pronounce your name? I don't want to be disrespectful by reading your name wrong. Or can I just call you Woo if not? Is that okay, or is that also disrespectful? Let me know what you'd like me to call you. How are we feeling going into this game, though? How are we feeling? I guess an early score prediction, score prediction could be quite a good way to start the stream. Players you would like to see in the starting 11. Things you'd like to see Erik Ten Hag doing. We are also keeping an eye on his press conference at the moment, saying some interesting stuff already. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Woo. Okay, hi Woo. Hope you're good, mate. Thanks for letting me know. Anything David Moyes is going to do which you're a little bit worried about? Or not really? And of course, as always, we'll be on the tactical board. FP straight away spam and the new emojis. If you are a member, guys, particularly those new members who got gifted them the other day, check out your emojis you can use. If you go to emojis, or emotes I think it says, you have some different ones which you can use, which are custom and only available to channel members. So check that out at some point. Just spam them in the chat. And especially if someone ever donates or gifts memberships, we just spam those in the chat. David Moyes is a Manchester United fan. He will give us a good result. He didn't prove he was a fan while he was here. Not sure he will give us a good result, but he might coach a side which eventually loses to us, potentially. Lightning, good to see you. I hope you're well, saying this feels like a 1-0 win for either side. First goal wins. So you're predicting quite a tight, cagey affair. Of course, United are without a goal in 3 games, which isn't ideal. Ten Hag has just been asked about that in his press conference, and he said the usual. Liverpool, we had chances. Bayern, we played quite well. Bournemouth was an off day sort of thing. So he's obviously saying he's not particularly concerned, but he's always going to say that, isn't he? Are you guys concerned about the lack of goals at the moment? I'm just going to quickly load up some of the press conference talk. You guys concerned about the lack of goals, or do you think it's just a case of eventually these things will smooth themselves out? We'll see better attacking patterns when players are back from injury and things like that, or is it something which we really need to delve into and actually figure out what the root of the problem is? We can take advantage of some of the West Ham players with poor decision making. Which ones would you highlight as being players with poor decision making? Edwin going for his starting 11 here, saying Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Evans, Varane, Shaw, Amrabat, Eriksson, Scott McTominay, Anthony, Højlund, and Garnacho. The next person says if he continues this McTominay, he should get sacked. Alvarez versus Spurs looked all over the place. Yeah, he looked. Obviously, we were talking about it yesterday. He looks a little bit unsure of when he's jumping out and when he's sitting in. I did cover that a little bit in my preview this morning as well. I don't know if it's poor decision making or it's just not quite understanding the system properly, knowing quite what the triggers are for when you go and pressing things. Before we get properly into this, we are going to wait for a few more people to join because I know we're missing some of our regulars who are normally here. So I will wait for some of those guys to join before we properly dive into this. Have you guys watched my preview from this morning? When is Mount coming back? Ten Hag has just said, he said it earlier, I think late January / early February. He said Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro mid-January, Maguire early January, and Victor Lindelof still a few weeks away. So Make of that what you will. You can't watch him miscontrol every pass. I assume you're talking about Scott McTominay. I thought he was better in the second half last week against Liverpool, but I thought his first half was really poor. He just seemed to not really affect the game. The game kind of drifted him by a little bit. And when he did get the chance to show his strengths in transition, he just didn't. His touch was poor, like you say there. I thought the second half he was much better, contributing a bit more to the defensive side of the game. I thought he'd done a much better job of actually protecting the centre-backs. So yeah, let me just read this quote from Erik ten Hag. Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro are not available. Mid-January, we expect them back. Mason Mount will be back in January too. Maguire, I expect him early on in the year. Victor Lindelof is not available. He has done surgery, so he will be out for a couple of weeks. So that's kind of our injury situation at the moment. He also did, Erik ten Hag, allude to the fact that we have had illness throughout the club this week. So I don't know if we're going to be missing some players that we're not aware of due to illness. Obviously, Marcus Rashford last week wasn't available because of the norovirus. Let's hope he's back this week, for example. But yeah. Ten Hag should tell the wingers that if they don't create for Højlund, they will be benched. Well, that is actually something else, Edwin, which he mentioned in his press conference. He said, because obviously he was asked about Rasmus Højlund and not scoring goals, and he said it's not just about Rasmus, it's about Rashford, it's about Fernandes, it's about Anthony, it's about Garnacho, McTominay, and don't forget our fullbacks, is what he said. So I think he's very aware of the fact that, yes, Højlund isn't scoring goals, but it's not necessarily his fault, and it's actually probably due to a lack of chance creation. I think one of the reasons we might have less people in the stream at the moment is because we've been going live at 1:30 recently. I wonder if people are expecting the stream to be the normal time. I did tell people it was early, but who knows? Maybe people will join shortly. Those of you that are here, make sure to leave a like. We saw in the last couple of streams that the more likes we get, the more people gift memberships. And if you aren't a member, it gives you a really good chance of becoming a member. So let's see what goals we can hit. The other day, I think we ended up with 170 odd likes on the stream, which was absolutely crazy. If we can get anywhere near that number again, it'd be incredible. I feel like he nullifies every attack we have. Are you talking about McTominay here? Same with Anthony. He's so beep. It's beyond belief. I think Anthony has seen improved performances in recent weeks, and I think and I think his best football does come with McTominay close to him. At the same time, though, I completely agree. We have to see some chance creation for Rasmus Højlund. It's why I would consider Marcus Rashford back into the starting 11. I wonder if that might be a little bit of a controversial take, because people have been impressed with Garnacho. But his end product into the box hasn't been that great. You know, he has carried the ball well and things like that, but that's actually something which Rashford himself does pretty well. I wonder if we might see Rashford back in the side to bring a bit more in the final third in terms of that bit of end product. Also see if Rashford can get himself into form, because we do need that at some point. West Ham won't press from the front. They should play out from the back. Should play out from the back to increase chance creation. Yeah, I think that will be our best strategy in this game. I think if we were to go long ball, long ball football, I just feel the likes of Souček, Edson Alvarez, Aguerd, Zuma are going to dominate us in the air. I mean, Højlund and McTominay might win the occasional one, but I don't think it should be a strategy of the game to play long ball football. Absolutely. West Ham losing to Liverpool in midweek. They'll definitely be looking for a win. Hope United play a better game like in Anfield. Bowen to be cut off. Yeah, so Bowen's obviously their big threat. You also got Paqueta and Kudus, who are very good attacking talents, really good on the ball. Their result in midweek was a weird one because they just lacked any intensity to their game. They were so off it. Is that a team problem? Is that a theme with the team and a genuine issue that they have? Or was that more of a one-off? Not too sure. Hopefully, I guess for United's sake, it's a common theme and we can take advantage of that. I believe they lost 5-0 to Fulham the other week, which also suggests, once again, that they're not in the best place at the moment as a team. Structurally, perhaps individually, that they are struggling a little bit. I don't think this is the best defensive David Moyes side we've ever seen. They still work hard and things like that, but I've seen more compact Moyes sides. Moyes is kind of known for that structured defence, that rigid defence which you can't really break through. I don't think this West Ham team is that. Not to the same extent anyway. Kudus is dangerous with Paqueta and Bowen. They let you have the ball, hit you with counters like they did to Wolves and many teams. Yeah, I think that will be their biggest threat. I think this front three, also Ward-Prowse in behind them, but particularly the front three, are so capable of moments of brilliance in transition. None of them are necessarily lightning quick, but they're all really good on the ball, really good technical players, good ball strikers. Are they all left-footed? That's an interesting little thing there. There's threats there, massive threats. They may not get a lot of the ball in this game, but in moments they'll try and hurt you. West Ham will start to press if they're down and need a goal. But that would be interesting if that was to be the game state. If United were to go 1 or 2 up, West Ham coming out of their shell a little bit, trying to apply pressure higher up the pitch. Again, I've spoke about it in the preview this morning, that when they do press, they press with a lack of numbers. A bit like what United do sometimes. So again, that does create an opportunity where you can play around them, use the overload. Particularly if we use Onana a lot. That could be a way out from the back. The good thing with this game is it has to be one playing football, not this long ball FC. Absolutely. I think United are almost going to be forced to play a better possession game. Can anyone particularly remember how the games went last season against West Ham? I know we had a 1-0 win with a Marcus Rashford header from an Eriksen cross. Can anyone, but not just the results, can anyone remember what the performance level was like? Did we control possession against West Ham last year, or was it quite end-to-end? I can't actually remember. Perhaps that's something one of you guys might be able to recall. If you are just joining the stream, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. We're currently on 9 at the moment. West Ham, we lost to De Gea Howler. You're right. So I remember that we started that game okay, didn't we? We started that game reasonably well. Sorry if you can hear my brother shouting in the other room. He's a degenerate. We started the game pretty well last year against West Ham. And yeah, like you said, that absolute De Gea Howler. Matt, good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. You can see Matt there being a member for 2 months now, as you can tell by his badge. Spam and all of those emojis, which he gets because he is a member. If you want to use those emojis, become a member and you can do the same. I remember us having a stupid amount of shots from ridiculous positions, as if it was the manager's instructions. In the league game, we didn't play him in the cup last year, did we? So it was in the league game. I said the first time around we played them, Cristiano Ronaldo was still at the club and in the starting 11. That shows the rollercoaster ride we've been on in the past 18 months or so. Have you guys seen the talk from The Athletic about Erik Ten Hag? Or not about Ten Hag, sorry, about the football club. Have you seen that talk this morning? I might be able to quickly find it for you. I think I've got it here somewhere. We had so many chances but struggled to get chances in the box and 1v1s with our wingers. Interesting. We'll look into how United can do that more in this game shortly. This is reportedly what the Athletic are talking about this morning. So the scouts under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at one point valued Anthony at about 25 million. We bought him for 85 million. Atalanta said they would let Højlund leave for 50 million. United said 60, and it ended up being 72. Not sure how we've come to that there. Ten Hag made it clear when he first joined the club that he wanted an experienced striker, which he still hasn't got, a left centre-back, which obviously came from Ajax, or Sandro Martinez, and a midfielder that could mould Frenkie de Jong. Obviously, in his first season, he didn't get that at all. He got Casemiro, which is very, very different. Mason Mount, maybe he's got it a little bit this year in the sense that he could be moulded, but not sure. Kim Min-jae he wanted, didn't get him. Kane he wanted and didn't get him. Like you said there, the talk about Jude Bellingham the other year, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still in charge of the club, the talk that we wanted to get him to talk to Sir Alex Ferguson to kind of enhance the package a little bit of, you should join United, look at our football heritage, talk to Ferguson, and was it Murto who was like, nah, we don't need him to speak to Fergie, let's just skip that part. Would Bellingham have joined anyway? I'm not sure, but interesting insights from that. Bit about the Bellingham tour was painful. Yeah, it hurts. Tells us everything that we need to know about how our footballing operations have been until now. Not impressed. It's really bad. It's not how you run a business, let alone a football club. It's crazy. If you are just joining the stream, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Last stream before Christmas, this one. But don't worry, we will be back after Christmas. Probably this time next week with the next stream. There's also plenty of content coming over Christmas. apart from Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Apart from that, loads of content still. With Ashworth, people were talking about his role and the analogy that he's centre of a 7-spoke wheel. Whilst at Brighton, i.e. key departments, centre around him and he links and oversees it all. Yeah, I don't know that much about Ashworth, I have to be completely honest with you. I would like to look into him a bit more, and also some of the other kind of footballing people we're being linked with at the club. It looks like we're trying to get the right people in. Whether or not it happens, we'll have to wait and see. Whether or not they can all work together, we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like a positive step, at least in the right direction. AJ, mate, hope you're doing well. Let's hope United close the year on a high note. Absolutely, we can dream. Hopefully they do. Hope you're well, DJ Nature. Good to see you, mate. Now a member, of course, after being gifted a membership. In the last stream, I believe, or was it in the one before? But yeah, I hope you enjoy your new emojis, DJ. Show them off. Quickly whack them in chat. I'll do it as well. Bosh. If we go with that plan, we're losing 1-0. This 11, sorry. This is the 11 I personally think Ten Hag will go for. But I'm not sure. Not sure, so let me know what you guys think. You sent a thread in Discord. On what, sorry? So yeah, DJ, if you now go into your emotes on YouTube, you should be able to use different emotes which are only available to channel members. A Dan Ashworth thread? Oh yeah. Perfect. I'll have a look through that at some point. Yeah, there you go. So you can use them for as long as you're a member. And you've also got a little badge next to your name as well, which shows how long you've been a member for. If you are just joining the stream, make sure to leave a like. I think the stream's a little bit quiet at the moment because I think everyone thought I was going to be live at 1:30 again, but I need to leave a bit earlier today. So those of you that are just joining, who would you start? First of all, the centre-back pairing. So realistically, we're quite limited here. We don't have Victor Lindelof, that's been confirmed. And we don't have Harry Maguire. And we don't have Lisandro Martinez. Nice. So our options are Rafael Varane, Johnny Evans or Luke Shaw at centre-back. The defensive line needs to be high as well, right? For United, I assume you mean? Yeah, I would take that risk in this game. I would play quite a high line. I think I would be quite aggressive in the way that I press. The only problem with that is, in terms of goal kicks, West Ham won't try and play out. They will go direct 9 times out of 10. It'll be more about a counter-pressing game rather than the initial press, but we'll come on to that. With one week of rest, why was that so hard to say? These players better win every duel. Yeah, so Ten Hag said that the players had a few days off at the start of the week away from football just to kind of clear their minds a little bit. But yeah, hopefully we're going to see them come back fresh and intense, although there are reports of illness around the club a little bit. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying for the starting 11. Kobe Mainu, Amrabat and Bruno in midfield. The problem with our recruitment is we have too many players, that need moulding instead of specialists like Frankie. Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, rather than starting someone like McTominay, you'd rather have Amrabat in his place. And Scott sometimes comes on up front. My main fear with the lineup would be the risk of Shaw/Evans caught on a turn, giving away a free kick in James Ward-Prowse territory. But that's basically unavoidable right now with our options. Good point. I think Ward-Prowse, we know what he's like with his set pieces. Whether it's a corner, whether it's a shooting free kick. Absolutely wicked delivery into the box. And his shots at goal, he's probably the best in the league at it. And I think it's been a couple of weeks since he scored one. So he probably fancies himself to get one this weekend. Definitely something we need to be aware of. So who in our squad is likely to give fouls away? Amrabat likes a foul. I realised I hadn't even got him written down. Amrabat is someone who likes a foul on the edge of the penalty area. So maybe that would be a concern. Particularly if it's to come on that side of the pitch as well. Something to look at. Feel Amrabat was poor versus Liverpool? Yeah, I thought he was terrible. I think it's the worst performance I've seen from an individual in quite a while. Shaw can be quite bad for a semi-pointless arm around the shoulder when he's been broken past. Yeah, he loves that little kind of, like you said, that just half-hearted arm on the shoulder to pull a player down in transition. Free kicks, set pieces, definitely something we need to look out for. With Salah and Nunez, anyone would look bad, honestly. Fair point. I think he was bad in and out of possession, but I still like him. Scott and Anthony should stay away after that performance versus Liverpool. Jim saying, personally, I'd like to see Ten Hag playing Mainu alongside Amrabat in midfield and use McTominay as a super sub. I think the back four need that extra man in front. I would agree. I think Ten Hag will go for McTominay, but if it was me, I would do something more like this. That's what I personally would do. Is there a preference on what way round you play Amrabat and Kobbie Mainoo? In terms of which one plays on the left, which one plays on the right-hand side, or you're not too bothered about that? Feel that Kobbie, Amrabat and Bruno in the midfield could be the way to go. Paqueta versus Dallo. Dallo suspended, obviously, after the red card last weekend. Edwick, can't make the stream today. Have a nice Christmas. No worries, mate. Have a good Christmas. Will I be live before New Year? Yeah, I'll be live before New Year. So have a good Christmas, mate. Have a good one. Enjoy the holidays. Stay safe, but have a good time. We'd love to see Amrabat, Mainoo, and Bruno in midfield. But Ten Hag loves McTominay. Yeah. No doubt we'll play Amrabat, McTominay, and Bruno, says Daniel, who became a member in the last stream. Wonder how Amrabat will do in central areas if it becomes congested, which I think it will. I think it will be quite hectic in here. So, I did cover it slightly in my preview this morning. West Ham, narrow. Super, super narrow. If they use the structure they were using a few weeks ago. They like to be narrow, compact, and basically they leave space in these areas, rather than in here. So they want to compact the middle of the pitch, force you wide, because they feel that if they can force you wide, that they can defend most balls into the box. Is how I would, quickly sum up their principles out of possession. So keep it compact in the centre, funnel the opposition to go into wide areas. Once they're in wide areas, force them to cross. We've got Aguerd, Zuma, Souček, Alvarez to head the ball away. That's kind of their logic and their approach. I'm going to skip those adverts for you guys so you don't have to watch them. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. Even if you're not enjoying it, honestly, just leave a like anyway. Something nice to do, isn't it? 'Tis the season. Ali coming in with a donation of $10. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you're well. Saying good morning, AJ, and the best community ever. Oh, hang on. I just lost the chat. 1 sec. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's hope for a good result. I pray we played a double pivot and no McTominay nonsense. So yeah, I've had McTominay on the screen so far just because I think Ten Hag might still go for it, but I personally wouldn't. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But thank you very much, as always, for the donation. If you are a member, guys, quickly spam love hearts in the chat. Turn the chat green to say thank you to Ali for the donation. Super generous, as always, Ali, mate. I hope you're well. Chad, good to see you, mate, saying Mc nonsense. I've got a few Mc names for McTominay. Not all of them can be said. How are you, Chad? I hope you're well. Ali, hope you're well. Last stream before Christmas today. 'Tis the season. We're in good spirits. Although, we've got a lack of people in the stream today because I think everyone thought I was going live at past. Sad times. That's better, yeah. Turn the chat green. I also can't speak today. I don't know why. Every word I try and say, I'm just messing it up. Nuruddin is in the chat and he's coming straight in with 5 gifted memberships. Before he's even dropped his thoughts on the game, he is straight there with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Nuruddin, as always. So 5 of you who weren't members before are now members of the channel. So you see those emojis everyone's using in chat? You might now have access to it thanks to Nuruddin. So 5 of you have now got that. E being one of them. E has been on the channel for a long time, so I'm glad he's got it. Thank you so much, as always, Nuruddin. Again, guys, turn the chat green, spam the love hearts. I hope you're well, mate. Hope you're doing good. Enjoyed that little talk about West Ham yesterday. That was a good chat. Enjoyed watching through the game as well. But yeah, Nuruddin, Ali, thank you both very, very much for your generosity, as always. As always. Absolute legends. Forget about AJ, turn the chat bald. You can do that as well if you want. You can either turn the chat bald or green. You guys have your pick. Let's spam Ten Hag. Sorry if you can hear me clicking, guys. That's probably really annoying. Hope you're well, though, no indeed, mate. Hope you're good. Oh my days. Look at chat. What is that? I've never seen so many Ten Hags in one place in my life. That is a Jadon Sancho or a nightmare right there. Absolute nightmare. Yeah, thank you guys for the donations and the gifted memberships, as always. We're now on 105 members, by the way. Good as can be, mate. Did well in my exam, feeling relieved. Love that from you. Worth all the preparation going into it then. Absolutely love that for you. Good work, mate. Great to be gifted. Been watching for ages. Yeah, E, you've been around on the chat for a long time. Amazing vids and community. Thank you very much for the kind words. I think the community, yeah, speaks for itself. Incredible. Let's get back to the football, though. How are we feeling? Is there anyone here who you think we just absolutely get out of the team? Oh, we were on centre-backs, weren't we? We want Varane. Do we want Shaw or do we want Johnny Evans, basically? So we could go for this back four, like this, or we could take Evans out, put Shaw in and go Reguilon at left back. So we'll start with the defence. Do you think we win? Yeah, personally I do. I think we'll win. I'm actually quite confident going into this game. It's not been the case on too many matches this season, but I'm quite confident. Me and some of the members were watching West Ham yesterday on Discord, and yeah, you can get at them. You can hurt West Ham. They're not the best team in the world. They're not as compact as typical David Moyes sides. So hopefully we have a good afternoon. Corey, mate, good to see you. I hope you're well. Good afternoon to you too. Hope you've been keeping well, my friend. Hope you're well. Madhu, good to see you, saying, yo, I'm late. Yeah, I think everyone thought I was streaming at 1:30 rather than 1, so that's my bad. I did try to let people know. But no worries for being late. You haven't really missed much yet. I've been waiting for people to join the stream and get involved before we properly get into things. If the space is going to be wide, maybe Reguilon could be good. I think that's a fair shout. I personally also like the idea, though, of can we get Shaw and Rashford going down this side attacking Kufal? So many bald men could make a grown man cry. It might. If they keep going, might shed a tear. Scott out. So is that roughly the 11 you guys would be going for? Have we actually got there really quickly today? Corey, what are your thoughts, mate? Madhu as well. You've just joined. What are your thoughts, starting 11 wise? Thanks, haven't missed much? Yeah, you haven't missed much at all, mate. Hope you're well, though. Hope you're good. And how are we feeling in general going into this game? Like I said, I'm actually quite confident. Well, Scott is playing. Yeah, I think he probably will. I personally don't know about Rashford. Yeah, I think the Rashford one is a 50-50 decision between him and Garnacho. I just feel that Garnacho's end product has lacked a little bit in recent weeks. And I think he's played a lot of football for a young player. And, at the start of the season, we were saying he isn't ready to constantly be a starter. So I'm not necessarily... I'm not dropping Garnacho by any means. It's more of just a rest and rotation. This is a busy spell coming up. So we're going to need Rashford to be sharp. And at the moment, he's not sharp because he hasn't played football for a few weeks. Not properly. So I personally would bring him into the side, get him in the starting 11. With Luke Shaw at left back, which has been very rare this season. This duo linking up. That's the sort of thing I'd be going for in this game. Those of you which believe McTominay will start, and I think I do as well, who do you think, and also who would you like to be the other midfielder? It feels like McTominay and Fernandes are in there most weeks. Mainu or Amrabat? First of all, who would you like, and who do you think Ten Hag will go for? Hey, Red Devils. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're well. McTominay might start. I could see a decent chance. McFred. They were the days, man. They were the days. Daniel saying he'd go for Cobby. Is that what you would go for, or what you think Ten Hag will go for, or both? I feel like it has to be Mainu, right? Just based off the last few games. I think that's what most people would go for. I think it's definitely my opinion. I love Cobby Mainu. I think he's such a good player. Do you think this sort of 11, though, gets enough out of the game. Have I seen VK in the chat? I have seen VK in the chat. VK with the donation. Saying on transit back to BKK, just want to say hi to you, AJ, and all the chat. My take is drop Hoyland and play Bruno and McTominay as an alternate false 9 instead. Only 2 of these 3 can play together. Thank you very much, VK. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Hope the travel ain't too much, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for the donation as always. Guys, make sure to turn the chat either green or bald. It's up to you guys. But yeah, VK, this is the last stream before Christmas, so I hope you have a happy holidays if I don't get to speak to you again before. I think at the moment, Mainu is tidier and sharper, so I'd start with him. But I think Ten Hag will go with Sofian. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think you've actually summed it up quite nicely there. I think I personally would, like you said, would go for Mainu. Ideally, you go for both of them, but I just think McTominay will play. AJ, Rashford needs to earn his spot as a starter. He was given plenty of chances this season. I just need him to work on his defensive duties and tracking back. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Obviously, I think as fans and kind of people on the outside, it's difficult to know when he's earned his place back because we don't see them in training. So there's a chance he's like trained incredibly well, but we just haven't seen it. So maybe he has earned his spot back. Because we only see literally 90 minutes on a pitch every week, it's a bit of a weird one. Getting the work in before the holidays, so plenty of travels. Are you someone who likes travelling or not really? Do you think United will sign Tomori and Todibo and sell Maguire and Lindelof? I think it's unlikely. Tomori in particular, I'm not a massive fan of, I have to be honest with you. Todibo, great player, really good profile. Linked with Spurs. I think he's actually a better signing for Spurs than what he is for United. Controversial, maybe. You'd play Amrabat, says Lightning, because he's good at switches. Yeah, fair point. I think that's something we haven't seen in Cobby's game yet, really. We saw one longish pass against Liverpool, but we haven't really seen a lot of long passing from him. We know that someone like Amrabat is quite a good long passer, kind of spreading the play. Not really seen that from Cobby yet. Interesting to see if that's a string to his bow, which he has or not. Can you explain why Ten Hag persists on playing a single pivot? Truthfully, no, because I don't really have the answer. It is something he done quite a lot with Ajax, but with Ajax, they played a singular pivot, but then inverted one of the fullbacks with them, so it was still essentially a double pivot, if you know what I mean. So I don't know why we persist with a single and wide fullbacks. Doesn't make sense. I manage hotels and resorts across the region for the last 25 years, so never really travel for holidays, always end up work-related. That sounds like a decent thing to be doing, though. That sounds... It's not the most boring job in the world. Thank you, as always, though, for the donation, mate. I really do appreciate that. I don't know if McTominay and Amrabat are technical enough to start with Mainu, but Amrabat for executing simple passes securely. "15 minutes to boarding, so try to be supportive to all." Safe travels, mate. I hope you stay safe over the holidays. Like I said, if I don't get to speak to you again before, hope you have a great holiday period. Have a good few days with the family, friends, whatever. Time to relax, maybe. Hope you have a good time. I'm not actually against Rashford not tracking back, because at the end of the day, we want him to score goals, and if he's closer to the goal, that's better. But my problem is his pressing. Yes, Corey, I completely agree. And no one is saying this. But I think you're spot on. I think you can play the game of a player not tracking back. It's obviously going to weaken you defensively, but I think you can take that risk. When Kufal goes forward, you play that game of cat and mouse a little bit of, I'm going to stay high, so yes, you might have an attacking threat, but best believe in transition, I'm going to destroy you, because you're leaving so much space. So I think that's fine not to track back massively. However, I think pressing, like you said, spot on again, we need that. Hey AJ, what are your thoughts on using cornstarch to thicken hot chocolate? Guys, someone talk to Chad. Surely McTominay can't keep starting every game. The last game he didn't start was on the 7th of October against Brentford. I believe he's played a full 90 in every game as well, right? He certainly most weeks he plays a full 90 minutes. Have a great Christmas, VK, mate. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on any chats I've missed there because I got a bit distracted. Is Garnacho suspended / injured, or are you putting him on the bench? I've got a feeling Rashford plays this game. Garnacho is available, but I can't find where I've put him. He is available. I just think Rashford will start the game. There's no inside knowledge on that or anything. It's just my thoughts. I think, Corey, with what you were talking about on the whole tracking situation, one thing which is interesting with West Ham is that in most games they don't play out from the back. Instead, they go long. So I don't think our high press is going to be a massive part of this game, which could, again, make Rashford a fair shout for the starting 11. So, you know, because West Ham don't play out from the back, that weakness of Rashford doesn't get exposed. That it could actually kind of line up quite nicely for Rashford to come back into a team. One thing people who actually watch the games can't deny is that Sancho did actually press. Yeah, I didn't mind his defensive side of the game with Sancho. I feel like it was inconsistent. Some games, particularly going backwards, he would track quite well, and then other times not so much. But yeah, I think he was better than Rashford defensively. If a high press isn't that important, can we play Bruno out the right, McSauce in the 10? The problem with that, I mean, we could, yep, but the problem with that would be when West Ham kind of get in their nice settled shape behind the ball, is Bruno going to drift in too much and not kind of leave us with no width down the right-hand side? Whereas I think in this game it's quite important to stretch the pitch. So I personally would prefer a more natural winger on both sides of the pitch. Or certainly someone providing the width on both sides, for me personally. But yeah, just on that pressing thing, it does maybe line up for Rashford to play. It is a good point. It is a good point. I think the counter press is going to be more important than the press. So again, West Ham got a goal kick. It's almost not worthwhile, I don't think, talking about what our pressing structure is, because I think they'll go long. It's more about can you win the ball. However, what will be important more so is, let's say Bruno Fernandes is on the attack, loses possession here. This is where we need to react positively towards the ball, because West Ham aren't great here. Alvarez and Souček are not press-resistant midfielders. So let's say we have possession in a high area. We've got players in whatever system, pushed nice and high up the pitch. When we lose possession here, this is where our reaction needs to be good, because you can hurt West Ham in this way. And that's where perhaps Rashford will need to up it in this game in particular. The counter-press could be useful. If we can counter-press high, win the ball back, you can leave West Ham exposed and vulnerable, and you can score goals against them for sure. Do you think Garnacho is a top 6 talent? Do you mean a talent which will represent a club at the top 6? Or top 6 talent in the league? What do you think? What do you mean, I should say, sorry. VK before he leaves with the 10 gifted memberships. And you know why he's done that? I'll tell you why. Because he is an absolute legend. I believe we are now up to 115 members on the channel, which is just an absolute joke. VK, thank you so much. So 10 of you which weren't members before will now be members. So it should be popping up in chat. It will say your name and then it was gifted a membership by VK. Thank you so much, VK. Members, you know what to do. Either turn the chat green or bald. It's up to you. And a donation from VK as well, saying be kind always. Happy holidays, everyone. Have a good one, VK, mate. Hope you have a great Christmas. Hopefully I get to speak to you before New Year. I will be streaming this time next week. So hopefully I get to see you before New Year. But if not, happy Christmas, happy New Year. Stay safe, stay well, but also have some fun. Did you cover the press conference or am I late? We've touched on a few things with the press conference, but we haven't fully gone into it that in depth. We've spoken about a couple of the injuries. What a man. Yeah, VK's a legend. You should stream after the game. This one I won't be, just because I'm unbelievably busy. But I'm hoping after Christmas, or certainly in the new year, when we play afternoon games, I'm hoping I might be able to start streaming after some of them. This one it won't happen. I'm just too busy at the moment. But maybe in the future, or hopefully in the future. Definitely in the future. I'm just not sure how many. You feel Rashford should start? It's what I'm leaning towards. Do you think Rashford is ready to give his all to secure a starting position after not starting for a while? Or are we going to see the same disinterested and unconfident Rashford? Confidence-wise, I'm not expecting a massively confident Rashford because he hasn't been playing, so he's not going to be confident. Hopefully, though, he has that kind of bit between his teeth. He's got that gritty determination to try and get a result and, fight for his place in the team and fight for his teammates. I'd like to see that. Just going back to the Bruno right wing comment, I believe here. Hang on, I've lost it. Where's it gone? To be fair, if he's with Wan-Bissaka, having Wan-Bissaka drifting inside and Bruno Fernandes putting in crosses to Højlund and McTominay, I know it's not his normal game, but I don't know. There's definitely potential. I think rather than starting Fernandes on the right-hand side, I would be happy for him to drift there during the game, rather than, being forced to play there. If he could drift there in the game, I think it could work. In my opinion, this is probably in the top 5 games so far where the rest defense shape is important, but ours is trash anyway. Yeah, our rest defense is quite poor, and our counter press is also fairly poor. Like you said, it needs to be better in this game, because you can hurt West Ham. I don't know how many of you guys saw the game against Liverpool in midweek. When West Ham lose the ball, when West Ham win the ball back, in these areas, they're just not good at playing out from the back. They also don't have the big physical target man to go to. So if we can counter press well around the ball, even if we don't nick it here, we can probably force them long, and you back Varane in the air and Evans against all of these, which gives United the foundation, hopefully, to then get the ball down and play football. In an ideal world, who knows? VK needs a title way better than a legend or a GOAT, what a gentleman. I run out of words to describe you guys, which are always donating and gifting memberships and things. I need to get a thesaurus. Time for Rashford to start, because Garnacho ain't delivering at the moment. Yeah, I think Garnacho is dribbling well and things like that. I think he's just lacking that final third product, which is hurting Rasmus Højlund. I'd like to see Marcus Rashford just given another go in the side, basically. Do you think Wan-Bissaka gets sold in the summer? Ooh, interesting question. We done a stream on this Wednesday. If you want to go check that out at some point, it is still on the channel. You guys are actually just waffling about hot chocolate and stuff. I respect it. I'm trying to find the actual relevant comments around it, though. I've never seen this much lack of goals in a United side until Erik ten Hag. 3 games now without a goal. Is that a concern? Ollie lacked control in the games, but scored a lot. But ten Hag's sides lack both. Why? Great question. I think it's a completely valid point. I think you are definitely onto something there. Why do we lack both? I'm not too sure. I think it does have to come down to the manager, which is obviously a problem. I realised that Bruno is no longer using through passes. I don't know if it's Ten Hag's decision. Yeah, I think it's obviously early in the season, what we saw a lot of was Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes both playing in midfield, and the pair of them like to get the ball and just chuck the ball forward really quickly, kind of spam the ball forward, and that led to a lot of possession being overturned, and that really hurt us. I feel like in recent weeks, with players like Mainu featuring, but also Amrabat, we have seen a better intention of trying to keep the ball. I think our possession has been improved in the past few weeks in terms of control. I think it's getting there, Liverpool game aside, but it still needs more. It still needs a lot more, particularly in the final third. We don't seem to have any sort of balance at the moment. It's like if we do one thing particularly well, we suffer somewhere else. Also, AJ, he said he wasn't going to play Varane because he can't play left centre-back. But isn't that where he's been playing since he came back into 11? Yeah, that is honestly the most mind-boggling thing I've ever heard. I have no idea what's happened there. I don't get the situation. I think what it is typically our right-back plays a little bit deeper in possession. And we tend to build with something close to a back three. I think he really doesn't like Varane being one of his wider players. And I think he's more comfortable with Evans covering wide than what he is with Varane covering wide. So I think that's why. But it does make Ten Hag look, no offence, pretty stupid, right? Because He was sat on that hill. He died on that hill for 2 months saying Varane can't play left centre-back. And now suddenly he's playing there. Sorry, did I say that the wrong way around? Yeah, I meant to say sorry. Recently the left-back's been deeper. I meant to say it that way around, sorry. Maybe he's just coached Varane to work on his left foot. I think the most confusing thing for me with the whole Raphael Varane left-footed situation is I think he is our best centre-back with his weak foot. MUFC, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. I think he's actually good at passing with his weak foot. So that's what the whole Varane situation is mind-boggling. Corey, you know I've been against Ten Hag on that whole situation. Every week I've said Varane should play. Højlund has the least chances in the league. Also, I believe the least touches, or the least touches in a box of strikers. No wonder we are not scoring. A striker needs at least 10 good chances to score 2 or 3 goals. How many chances Højlund gets in one game? FP, any stats? I think you're spot on. If you look at Haaland, probably the best finisher in the world at the moment, or certainly in the top 3, he's also top for the most misses, the most big chances missed, because good strikers get chances. Lots of chances, because they play in good systems. Unfortunately for Højlund, he doesn't have that luxury. Can you get the Discord link? Give me a few minutes and I'll work on it. But yeah, I'll get it to you shortly. Yeah, Ronaldo, I already read that out, mate. There has to be a falling out behind the scenes. No way he was dropped for purely footballing reasons. I find it hard to believe. But I don't know if I believe that they fell out either. It's just so weird. It's odd. The whole Ten Hag Varane situation, I've never understood. Like I said, from the start, I have said that Varane should play, and I don't know why he hasn't been. Because I think he showed in the last couple of games, his box defence is incredible. 1.83 shots per 90, there you go. You can rely on FP. If you need a stat, ask FP for it, he'll probably find it. Soon to become a mod on the channel as well, so you guys better be nice to FP. If not, he's going to send you to the Shadow Realm. Do you think Mount can be in his team instead of McTominay? In my opinion, it makes more sense. Only problem might be a lack of physical presence in midfield. I think what we're probably going to end up seeing with Mount in the long term, and I think I said this the other day, is that I think he'll be a player who's never quite a guaranteed starter for us. He'll still start 40 games a season, but our best 11 won't have him in, if you know what I mean. I think we're going to see Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, and new signing from next summer onwards, who will be hopefully a bigger presence. So it's a weird one. Statman FP. FP's clear of any statman I've ever seen. Can Mount be a box-to-box midfielder? Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, he just fills in where we need to and does a job. Absolutely. That obviously does make you question the price tag a little bit, though, that he costs that much just to fill in, but I'm going to sneeze and I don't want to sneeze. At times, Højlund doesn't like to show for the ball, unlike Martial. Yeah, but I think we knew that when we signed him. That's I think, for me, just different profiles of striker. There you go. There's the Discord link. I can't pin it right now, but I'll be able to in a second. It's behind something else at the moment. But the Discord link is there. If you want to join a Discord, it's completely free. And if you are a YouTube member, you will get access to certain channels on Discord which no one else gets, and you get exclusive content. Like yesterday, we done a stream which no one else saw. Do you think Mount and Bruno can ever be in the same team and both be used to their best abilities? Yes, I do. I think they can. I think that for it to happen, it probably doesn't happen with Kobbie Mainoo. I think it happens with a big physical midfielder, which again is why I think it only happens in some games rather than being a constant. And that's concerning. It makes Ten Hag seem like a liar, and I really don't remember who said that. Yeah, I don't get the Varane situation. Our fullbacks are not creating like other teams' fullbacks, something which Ten Hag alluded to this afternoon in his press conference. He was asked about Rasmus Højlund not scoring goals, and he said Højlund needs to score more goals, but it's not just Højlund. Rashford, Fernandes, McTominay, Antony, Garnacho, and even our fullbacks need to do more for him. That is what Ten Hag said. I think he didn't play him against City because he thought Evans was in good form. I think there was then a falling out because of this, because Varane thought he deserved to play. Possibly. Possibly. But if it is that, I don't know, it just seems like it's such a little thing to fall out over. Not sure. Side note, have we all read the Athletic article? Yeah, I kind of briefly skimmed over it earlier as well. It's not pretty reading for the club. Do you think that Rashford will eventually get into that purple patch form again? Perhaps not to the same level, because I think that was extraordinary. Like, I think he was the most dangerous player on the planet at the time. So perhaps not to the same level, but yeah, I think we will see purple patches from Rashford again. I think he is a form player, someone who does produce in purple patches. Having said that, I think what he needs to improve on his game is when he's not in his purple patch, that he still does well. You know, he can't go purple patch to poor and lazy. His, floor level needs to come up. Not his ceiling. His ceiling's great. His floor level, his foundation of performance needs to be higher. So his average performances are better. Do you think Eriksen starts? I think it's unlikely, just because of coming back from injury. Although I believe he has been training this week, so maybe from the bench. Totally agree on Rashford. Yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. Do you think United sign anybody credible in January? I doubt it. In terms of long, accurate passing, signing Onana seems was a perfect decision. Yeah, we need to use Onana much more for his possession game. This is a game where we might be able to use it, because West Ham kind of put a few players forward in the press, but not enough. Often only 3, which means that if we use our back 4, plus Kobe Mainoo, plus the goalkeeper, we can outnumber them there and hurt them. If we keep the ball short and persist with trying to play out from the back, we can hurt them here. The team needs to attack as a unit and defend as a unit. Players need to stop playing for themselves and start playing for the team and the fans. I completely agree. What do you think about the Super League? With the Super League, I just find it weird that they spent all that time in a legal battle just to turn out the clubs don't want to do it anyway. Bit weird. I actually didn't hate the format they came out with yesterday, though. Guys, we're only on 28 likes in the stream. I reckon we can run those numbers up. I know the support has been incredible this week. I reckon we can ask for one last push before Christmas, though. I feel like Ten Hag needs to play to the strengths of his players, or his best players more. Bruno, Onana, Mainoo. I agree. I think we'll see it more with certain people back from injury, but yeah, I agree. I think the problem is his work rate. That would raise the floor a lot if he just worked hard for the team, even when not in form. Yeah, spot on. I completely agree. I also think confidence as well is part of it. The second he doesn't play well, you just see his head and his shoulders slump. And that's when he then becomes lazy. And it's a constant cycle of, or a downward spiral, actually, in fact. The last time I can say Rashford was good the whole season was the 1920 season when he was 21, 22 years old. I'm trying to remember what season that was. Yeah, no, I think that was probably his best all-rounded season. Yeah, I think you're right with that. I feel Ten Hag. Oh, sorry, I already read that one. Sorry, AJ, I forgot to like the stream. I just did. I just want to participate in the chat, lol. All good, Ali. All good. I certainly could never question your support on the channel. 35 likes. It's instantly rocketed up. Thanks, guys. Rashford that season was insane. Yeah. We need that foundation of level with the occasional last season peak. That gives us a much better footballer to work with. It'd be interesting to go back and look at what he done differently in that season. Was he working harder? Was he picking up different positions? Was he playing different areas? It would be interesting to see. Mate, I think you got your cap locks stuck on. Which position is most needed for the future? A right-sided centre-back or a right-back? A right-sided centre-back, in my opinion. Yo, Franco, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. With the whole Greenwood situation, because it's a political thing, I'm going to let the club decide whether they want to keep him or not. If the club were to keep him, then I would talk about his tactical fit. Lisandro Martinez could help build up. Imagine him pushing into a double pivot to help whoever will be playing in the middle. Absolutely. If we could get... Again, I haven't actually got him written down here because he's injured. If we could have Lisandro Martinez in a position which pushes up into here let's say alongside a Kobe Mainu, and then, I don't know, perhaps deeper fullbacks, a new central centre-back who's maybe a bit better on the ball, and go for that sort of shape. Something like that could work quite nicely, and it definitely gives you the ability to play out from the back much more. My bad about the capitals. All good, mate. With Garnacho being so young, do you think Rashford has a long-term future at the club? I think for Garnacho, there's a lot of steps he still needs to take. I think he's a long way from the finished article. So if I was Rashford, I wouldn't be worried about Garnacho taking my long-term spot yet, because Garnacho isn't that level. But it will obviously be interesting to see in the future. Do you think we could maybe play Hannibal, Mainu and Bruno versus West Ham? Possibly. Probably leaves us a little bit light in deeper areas of midfield, though. In the 1920 season, Rashford had 17 Premier League goals in total. Same as last season, but he had 11 by November and didn't come back till COVID ball, then added another 6 with 9 assists. Yeah, that's the sort of level we need on a more regular basis. And then, like I said, those occasional peaks like we saw last season. I noticed Rashford is an every other season player. Yeah, I think that's fair. One season he's on fire, and the following season he's ice cold. I agree. Is that what City are doing? Pushing Stones into midfield? Something similar, yeah. AJ, any next big thing in our academy right now? There's a lot. There's a lot of good players in our academy at the moment. FP is probably someone you should talk to about that. Exposed when he's in chat as well. He's someone who knows about the academy. Yeah, there's some really good players in there. Why are we worried about having too many good players? Because City and Liverpool don't. I'm personally not worried about having too many good players. Waiting for Shea Lacey. He'll be a few years away yet, but a great talent. Mr. AJ, if Altay Bayindir does really great, would you stick with him or back to Onana? It would really depend on, one, his level of performance, but also where he excels. For example, if he's great with his shot stopping and things like that, but his passing's terrible, then I think we would go back to Onana because we want to see that possession game. But if he's really good with his feet, really good with his shot stopping, then yeah, he probably deserves his spot in the team. I'm not big on Garnacho, but I want the best for him. But in my opinion, I don't think he will be what we need going forward. Yeah, I completely get what you're saying. When Rashford gets a chance to get into the opponent's box from that winger side, 9 out of 10 chance for a United goal. If VAR isn't against us, like in Stockley Park. Yep, fair enough. I think Hannibal in 2 or 3 years could be sold. I don't see him at United in 2026. I agree. I think 2025 he'll be gone. That summer is when I can probably see him leaving, if not sooner, to be fair. If PSG were to bid 100 to 130 million, would you sell him? I assume you mean Rashford. I think you have to at that point. For that amount of money, there are some decent replacements out there. I think you have to. Also, Pellistri will be gone. Yeah, I think so. Again, we did do a stream on this a couple of days ago talking about the future of different players. We had a vote on every single player in the United first team, or the ones that I remembered at least, and discussed whether they were key players, players we should build around, sell, all of that good stuff. Would you sign Kubo if he is available? I haven't seen that much of him. In terms of what I have seen, tactically I don't think it's a great fit from what I've seen. Haven't seen Diao enough to really know. I think Rashford's the better player of those two, but Kivicha has got the chance to overtake him. The Chosen One said, if you wouldn't mind, why always in a hat or a cap? Mind a short reveal of the golden retriever like hair, sir. That's all you get. I'm still waiting for Garnacho to show a bit more before I see him as a future superstar. I think there's a slight element of fans getting overexcited at someone who looks to be busy. Yeah, I think we do get overexcited about him a little bit. I think he's a great young player and he's got a lot of potential. And I love that he works hard and things like that. I'm not fully convinced that he's going to be the star that we want him to be. We'll see. Ali with the $5 donation saying, just wanting to give a shout out to this community. He's been in different streams before, and this is by far the most loving and respectful. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Ali. Thank you so much. You are a big part of this community. So thank you so much for the generous donation as always. But you're spot on. You guys are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like I said it the other day, we always have such level-headed chats. No one gets over the top about anything. If people have differing opinions, we can just talk about it. It's great. And like FP is doing there, and Matt, make sure to turn the chat over green or bold. I say bold, I meant to say bald. To be fair, I think we're so desperate as a community to grab onto youth because it's the United way to bring youth talent through, but we need to be a bit more ruthless with them, unfortunately. Yeah, I agree. I think you're spot on. Like I said, there's that sentiment of we want these young players to be superstars. Not all of them will be. Part of a good academy is developing talents and then selling them to Premier League clubs for 20 million. That's part of a good academy. Carrick or McKenna, who do you think could be a Man United coach in the future? Truthfully, I haven't seen enough of Ipswich or Middlesbrough to really be able to say anything. Pardon me, I do apologise. Do you think Garnacho will be like a Januzaj? No, I think he's got more raw talent than Januzaj. I think he's got more potential. I like his work rate and things like that more as well. I'm just not sure he's top-end player, but who knows? He might explode at some point. If he could put on a little bit of upper body strength, a little bit of muscle, just so he can kind of compete in duels a little bit better, that would help him a lot. The fear if you do that is that you lose a little bit of agility and turning speed, so that would be a concern. Are you aware of Guirassi's 17 million clause in January? I am aware. Don't particularly rate him that highly. Video coming on the 28th, I believe. Would you swap Leao with Rashford? People who would like that transfer haven't seen Leao play. Because defensively, very similar to Rashford. Although Leao's probably better on the ball, to be fair. I think that Mainu is actually the real deal. He plays with more maturity than the rest of them. Yeah, I think Kobbie Mainu is the one in the academy at the moment, which I think is the real deal. If I had to, put my life on one player making it, it's him. I don't think Leao could improve our attack. I think he would improve it a little bit, but not drastically. I think he's worse than Rashford off the ball, AJ. Yeah, it's a fair shout. Ray, I'm not sure. I don't really know much about him. MUFC saying, you never know with players this young. I remember a young Ronaldo at United. No one would have ever thought he would go on to achieve what he did. Exactly, and it's why it's too early to judge Garnacho. Because he is very young. This is Garnacho's first season as a first-team player. He still has more levels to go. Last season was only an introduction. Absolutely, it's way too early to judge what level of talent he is. I think he's a really good squad player for us at the moment. Hopefully he becomes a key player one day. That'd be great. At the moment, he's a great squad player. I still don't think he's quite ready for the starting 11 week in, week out. But he's a good player. He's playing well. He brings a lot to the side. He works incredibly hard. And that work rate alone and that mindset will get him far in his career. Hi AJ, I saw your video about Onana, the midfielder from Everton. Thank you very much for watching. What would you think if United were to buy someone like Valverde instead? Valverde's a great player. I just don't think it will happen. I don't think Madrid will have any interest in selling him, unfortunately. I won't lose my life betting on Maini, hopefully. I would take Leao over Rashford. Yeah, I think Leao's probably a little bit better on the ball. He's a little bit smarter with his dribbling and things like that. But I think he's worse defensively than Rashford. And obviously, the defensive side is the big criticism of Marcus. Let's be honest, the only reason we hype academy players is because of the amount of bad players we have. It's like a hungry dog that hasn't seen food in a long time. Fair enough. Madrid's talent pool is a joke. Real life career mode squad at the moment. The midfield especially is unfair. They could supply 3 of the best teams in the world with central midfielders and be fine. Watkins seems underrated by Premier League teams. Yeah, he has been linked with Arsenal a couple of times, but he's a good player. I think for January, we will sign Todibo and get Werner on loan. Possibly. Haven't seen much of him, Corey. Haven't seen much of him. United should buy Vifer and Onana for different game states. That would be expensive. You're looking north of 100 million, but yeah, they're two great players. Casemiro alongside with Mainoo is a scary duo if they play together the rest of the season. I hope when Casemiro is back from injury, I hope we see a return to the better Casemiro, the Casemiro we saw last season. Because if we do, then you're right, it could be quite a nice fit. We could see those two kind of striking up quite a nice partnership in the midfield. Casemiro bringing a bit more muscle, but also experience to the side. I think for Casemiro, we need to reduce the amount of ground he has to cover, because we saw he just doesn't cover it very well this year. His physical drop-off has been quite extreme. So if we can get him in a nicer system, if Ten Hag can improve his structure, then yeah, Casemiro and Mainoo can be a really nice pivot together. Still believe Kovar was biggest mistake last season, selling him. Yeah, I agree. I think probably not our biggest mistake, I dare say we made bigger, but yeah, I think we should have loaned him out rather than selling him. Onana and João Neves would be my dream midfield signings. With João, I think he's a great player, João Neves, unbelievable talent. I actually don't think we need him just because we've got our own one, and his name's Kobbie Mainoo. Have to eliminate those wild lunges from his game as much as possible. Casemiro, absolutely. Again, I think it's because he gets caught on these 1v1s, and he realises, if he goes past me, I can't beat him for pace. So I just got to take him out, and then sometimes he just gets destroyed. Casemiro and every holding midfield has suffered this season for our lack of rest defence. Spot on. Would you sign Bowen? Probably not. You're thinking João Neves for the 10? I know he doesn't play there right now, but in terms of talent, I think he can do it easy. Yeah, or in more of a flat kind of 4-3-3, so 3 across the midfield. That could work as well. Vifer should cost 80 million, but we know United negotiation tactics. Yeah, neither him or Onana will be cheap. I think they'll be cheaper than 80, but yeah, then they're not going to go easy. Those clubs, especially, I think clubs now know as well, we will overpay. If you ask us for a lot of money, we're stupid enough to go, oh yeah, go on then. So teams know that they can get money out of us. Vifer looks like an incredible profile of player. Great player. I need to look into him more. I think Vifer, Onana, probably both between 40 and 60 million. You'd love Bowen at United? I've never been completely sold at Bowen. He's a great player. He is a great player who comfortably could play for a side in the top 6, to be fair. Oh, you're talking about someone who has a similar strong side like Valverde, danger in the final third, good reading of the game, defensive work. Can that work in my opinion? Well, a true all-round box-to-box midfielder, yeah, it probably can work, as long as it's a player who is happy to drop in and do this side of the game here as well. You're almost looking for a physical profile similar to McTominay, but with a bit more intelligence and technical ability. Would you sign Benjamin Sesko if he is if he's valued, below 70 million? Probably not now, just because of we've got Rasmus Højlund. I don't think we need another one. Yeah, the stuff coming out about United overpaying is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Basically, the money we've overspent on other players could have signed us a whole other midfielder. A top level one as well. It's bonkers. The article from The Athletic, if you have read it, if you haven't, check it out at some point. It's not good reading on the club. Is it all 100% true? Not sure, not necessarily. But don't look great. In the next 2 years or in the 2024 summer window, would you sell Bruno to help the team be more balanced and progress? A bit like Coutinho and Liverpool. The Coutinho and Liverpool link is actually a really interesting one, and not something which too many people have said. It is an interesting example of letting go of a big player because you want to change your style slightly. Possibly. Possibly. I do see what you're saying. Again, we covered that on stream the other day about which players would build around, sell, etc. It is interesting. We also overpay on wages. Yeah, so we can't move players on. Think Yusuf Fofana is the best option for the 6 role. Yeah, I want to watch him a lot more. The thing with Fofana is he'd be cheaper. So you could almost get him and one of the others, depending on how much money you've got. And that's quite exciting. Say if a big money offer came in for, let's say, Casemiro. If you could then spend that money on 2 central midfielders, that would be huge. Sorry, I've just misplaced the chat. Where are you guys? I think we need to sign a Bruno replacement in the next 2 seasons. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Although it could be Mason Mount. Do you think that Real Madrid is tactically good, or they are good because they have great players? Tactically, they're good without being great or excellent. And they have elite players. So the tactics are fairly basic. They get them so far, and then the talent takes over. You'd sell Bruno and Rashford this upcoming summer, but it's unlikely. I could see a world where one of them maybe goes. I think Bruno's unlikely. I could see a world where Rashford moved. But yeah, I think both of them is quite unlikely. United should now sell a lot of players who have been here for 3 or 4 years. We need a restart. Yeah, the problem is it's so difficult to just offload 10 players. Yeah, Matt, spot on. Spot on. Could you please make an analysis of Michael Elise? I think I might have done one at the start of the season. I'm not sure. I'd chosen one. If you, at the end of the stream, check my channel. There's a chance at the start of the season I've done one, but I can't remember. For the way that I think the manager wants to play, I think both should be sold. See, on paper, I would agree with that idea in terms of their profile, but at the same time, Ten Hag, since being at the club, has said he wants to be the best transitioning team in the world. Fernandes and Rashford are 2 of the best transitioning players on the planet. Would you sell Bruno and Casemiro and release Amrabat to try and sign Wirtz, Onana and Fofana? I personally would never completely reset a midfield in one window. So if you play 3 central midfielders, personally, I would never sign 3 new players just because the amount of time it takes them to gel with each other. I know Liverpool have done it and got away with it to an extent with McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai at times, but I don't like the idea of a whole new midfield. The same way I don't like signing 2 starting centre-backs in a window because it just takes too long for everyone to gel together. I think one underlooked weakness of Bruno is his relative lack of progressive dribbling or take-ons for how technical of a player he is. I completely agree. I think when we look at someone like Musiala, for example, when we play against Bayern, the way that he picks up the ball in midfield and glides past our midfielders, we don't have anyone who can do that. Now, we need it in deeper phases, but you're right, we do need it higher up the pitch as well. Florian Wirtz. That exact profile. What's your opinion on Dan Ashworth and Paul Mitchell coming in as Director of Football and Transfer Specialist? From what I've heard, they are the right people. I need to look into it myself a bit more before really forming an opinion. But on paper, it sounds like the club is taking a step in the right direction. Becoming a more modern club, which, you know, it's about time, hey? We ain't getting Wirtz, though. Yeah, realistically, we're not. Could you do analysis on Matthias Sul? I'm not sure how you say his name. Is it Sul or Sula? But yeah, I'm watching him at the moment. Bakayoko, great player. Love him. Absolutely, I'll do a video on that before the end of the season. And Kubo. Again, yeah, if we see links to those players, I'll do videos on them. But I am watching all of them. Yeah, Dimitri said there, I believe I have done a video on Elise before. I think it was quite a last-minute rushed one, though. So I need to do one a bit better. We need an Odegaard type of 10, someone who can hold the ball. A better retention player, you mean? Someone who, yeah, completes their passes rather than having like 68% pass accuracy. James Maddison would have been the other one, obviously. Before he went to Spurs, he kind of ticks that box. He can carry the ball, he can glide, but he's a good passer. I think Bruno has the talent to adapt to a possession-based system. Quite possibly. We've never really seen it tried. Let's get our system ready before we get players like Wirtz, because if we get him and we aren't ready and he doesn't get goals and assists, then his fan base will say he's a shocking player. Yeah. I think we need to build... I think that would be my main priority in the summer. Rather than right wingers or 10s or strikers or whatever, it would be about building the base and the foundation for the side. Can't Eriksen suit that role? He doesn't really have the athleticism to carry the ball properly. Have you started watching Simakan? No, he's still on the list. I've got a list of a load of players written down that I need to get through. Jack Fletcher, one coming through the academy, is a good shout. Retention is the word I was missing. I always thought Eriksen was a 10 back in Spurs. Yeah, he was. He was often a 10 or like he was started wide in a 4-2-3-1 but would come inside a lot. So let me just quickly demonstrate that. So he would either... Let's just quickly grab him real quick. I don't think I've got him written down, so let's quickly do that. What Eriksen used to do earlier in his career is, for Spurs, he would play here in the middle like this, or sometimes Dele Alli would play there. Eriksen would then move to one side. But because Spurs under Pochettino, they used these flying wing-backs or full-backs, Danny Rose and Kyle Walker. They would bomb on all day long. So even Spurs wide players, which at times was Eriksen, they would come inside. But I think he's just lost that. He's lost that. I think he's lost that ability to carry the ball and to affect big spaces. Once upon a time, though, I loved him as a 10. I thought he was unbelievable. I wanted him at United about 8 years earlier than what we got him. Quiz is coming soon, FP. Give me like 5 minutes and we'll get onto that. Eze could be that player, possibly. I need to watch him more. What's the difference between Eriksen and Maddison? Both of them don't seem to have legs. I think Maddison's got a bit more energy to his performance. Being that much younger, I think he has got more energy than what is always shown. João Neves is good at all those things we just spoke about. Normally in a deeper area, but yeah, we could see it higher up. We were linked with him back in Jose's era. Yeah, Eriksen was one of my all-time favourite Premier League players. When he went to Inter over in Italy, he started dropping a little bit deeper into more of a midfield 3 rather than as a 10. And ever since then, really, he's gone further and further into deeper positions in his career. At Spurs, Dele Alli was their number 10. Yeah, there were some games where it was Eriksen, and then a lot of games where it was Dele. Do you think De Zerbi fits United better than Ten Hag? For me, it's a yes. I actually don't. I think De Zerbi's style of football, perhaps in 3 or 4 years, would be suited, but right now, no. I don't think these players could physically do it. Sir Jim Ratcliffe seems like it's going to take the whole season to complete the deal. Yeah, every week. Early next week it will happen. One day it will happen, I'm sure it will. It won't be before Christmas, I really doubt it. Like February would probably be my guess that we actually see it happening. Some players are doing well with their teams because of the system. They may not be as good as ours. Excellent point. Environment and things like that are so important to the way that side plays and the way that the individuals play. Brighton are dropping awfully now. Yeah. They are. They're in poor form. It's because their tactic. I think De Zerbi is quite fixed in his ways and he's got quite a clear principle of what he wants to do. And at the moment, they seem to lack a plan B of what I've seen. Granted, I haven't seen them for the past couple of weeks, but they just seem to lack that plan B a little bit. Do you see this United team turning things around before the end of this season? Yeah. Do I see the United team being complete and tactically perfect and performance-wise perfect? No. Do I think we'll see a turnaround and an improvement of form? Yes. Lisandro Martinez has to help that. He has to. And I think the big thing, though, comes down to Erik ten Hag. He's got to improve his tactics. He does have to. Even if we just went back a step, back to basics a little bit, and do what we've done last season. Ten Hag has to improve in the second half of the season. But, to answer your question, do I think we're capable of it? Yeah, I think so. When we get the recruitment right, I will be happy to talk about replacing the manager. Would we get top 4 this season? It's going to be tough. The good thing is, the league's really competitive this year. So many teams are taking points off each other, and I don't think there's an absolute standout. So we'll be in touch the whole way. It's just, can we get a streak going to actually get into the top 4? Thoughts on Garcia from Girona? Truthfully, I haven't seen him enough. Tony Cruz, for me, is the best passer of football the world's ever seen. Yeah. Love him. Next season challenging for the title is also probably one step too far. De Zerbi's game seems limited. They play out well from the back well, but they're... don't remember seeing them one long ball or switch last night from Brighton. Yeah, they're just a little bit predictable at the moment. A season like that will be defined by performances versus top teams. Very, very true. Because Newcastle, Villa, City, Liverpool and Arsenal are all pushing their weight, this season seems lost. I don't think it is, title-wise, obviously. But top 4, it's not. It's not over by any means. And it's for the very reason you've said there. Because there are so many good teams in the league at the moment, they're just constantly taking points off each other. At the same time, I don't think any team in the league is as good as what City were last year. I don't think anyone is. So, I think the top level of the Premier League's come down a little bit, and this level here has come up a little bit to make it more competitive. So there's just points being dropped left, right, and centre, which means all it takes is a streak of 10 games where you just put something together, which we're capable of doing with these players, and you're right back in there. So it's not over yet. If only there was a player like a young Pogba coming through. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who the closest thing to that, really. I think Pogba's an anomaly. I think he's a once-in-a-lifetime type of footballer. Some Ajax fans were saying Ten Hag's rest defence was the same issue as we have now. The difference is their league is way weaker than ours. He needs to work on that. You'd love to see him succeed here. Yeah, I think that is largely true. I don't think Ajax's was quite as bad, but also because they were so much more technical, they kept the ball a lot better, so you didn't see their defensive side so much. You know, their defensive weakness was masked by the fact that they just had the ball all the time. Yeah, we've got a good chance of getting top 4, absolutely. Newcastle are struggling with injuries. Villa are probably only an Ollie Watkins injury away, for example, from falling away a little bit. Absolutely, we've still got a chance. I think it's way too early to write that off. Similar talent of Pogba and Mainu. I think Mainu reminds me of Thiago. At times, little Frankie de Jong vibes. At times, a couple of Moussa Dembele vibes. A bit more than Pogba, but I do see the comparison. Yeah, Pogba was just unbelievably talented. Great to get United analysis from a level-headed fan as opposed to some of the more popular ones that just shout at the camera. Thank you very much for the kind words. Yeah, I'm not a fan of just sitting there overreacting, shouting and screaming at stuff for 2 hours. I don't see the point of it. I'd much rather just kind of, like you said, have a level-headed chat. Give my thoughts, get your guys' thoughts. I think it's the best way to do things, so thank you very much for the kind words. Villa have a big squad. Yeah, they've got a good squad. I just fear that if they were to lose an Ollie Watkins, I'm not sure where their goals come from. In fact, I will be doing a video in January at some point. One player each team in the Prem should sign. For Villa, it will probably be a backup striker. Who do you think United can buy as a good squad player who would compete with Lisandro Martinez for left centre-back? Not sure at the moment. Lusumi says FP straight away. Zabani's a good shout as well from Chad. I like Hato from Ajax as well. Inacio Sporting, maybe. Yeah, the turnaround from Villa is crazy. It shows what a bad job Steven Gerrard was doing and how good Emery is doing. My predictions for tomorrow. I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester United. Should we go to predictions and then do a quiz? And then we'll end the stream there. Does that sound like a plan? Predictions. Go, 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 go. The flashes of Pogba for me are in certain ways of positioning his body. Yeah, he is good at getting his body between... Sorry. Yeah, his body between the ball and the opponent, like Pogba was. I think you're right there. $14-0, says Chad. It will happen one day. Will it? Will it? They need you on FIFA, mate. Was it 7 goals? Do you blame United for wasting Pogba and Sancho like talents? Or is it down to their lack of determination and work rate? Probably somewhere between the both. I think the club are absolutely the problem as well. The players also, perhaps at times, didn't apply themselves correctly, although I don't know. I didn't watch training. I think it's probably somewhere between the two. You feel strangely confident? I'm confident. I am confident of winning this game. 2-0, I say. 2-0 to Manchester United. Do any of you guys play FPL, by the way? I didn't realise the game week started last night, so I made no transfers and had City players in my team. Nightmare. Manu reminds me of Modric, but more physically and athletically gifted. Yeah, I think he's quite a nice blend of several different players, making him Kobe Manu, which is quite exciting. Di Maria and Sanchez, who are hard workers, also failed here. Good point. I think the Sanchez one, it was just the wrong time of his career, but I think Di Maria is a really good shout at like why it isn't just the problem of the players. The environment is bad. Um, 1-0 if we defend good like we did against Liverpool. Let's not forget that they are a wounded animal. And they will take their last loss against Liverpool out on us. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I would expect a bounce back. Dangerous in transition, absolutely. Most people going for a win though. Corey, have you said your prediction? Corey's predictions are usually fairly accurate, but I can't see his yet. I'm seeing 1-0 to United, says FP. 2-1 says Lance. Valza says 1-0. 14-0 from Chad. 2-1. 2-0. A tough, gritty 2-1 or 1-0 for United. We'll take it. Corey's normally right, guys. Corey, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the last time you predicted us winning, by the way. Must be the Christmas spirit. 2-0 United. Yeah, obviously with Di Maria, he had a lot of issues off the pitch as well. 3-1 United. I feel a James Ward-Prowse set piece or two hurting us. Possibly. Spoke about that yesterday, didn't we? 2-0 if we have Bruno, Manu and Amrabat in midfield. I like that prediction. Who knows if we'll get that in midfield, but we can dream, right? We can dream. Let's go over and finish the stream with a quiz, which FP has kindly put together for us. It's a Christmas/Boxing Day Manchester United quiz. So the questions are going to be on screen. We're going to answer it together. We're going to put the answer in and see what we get. Make sure to say thank you to FP in chat for putting this together. Completely free of charge. He just done it off his own back to help the channel. Absolute legend. So first question. Which United player scored the first goal under Erik ten Hag? Competitive goal. Technically a Brighton player. So some people saying Sancho, some people saying Dalot. Surely Rashford, Sancho. Lots of debate going on. McAllister own goal. Yeah, so if it's an own goal, we're not classing it as that player. I have to type the full name. You're making me work here, FP. Jesus, man. Sancho right away. I believe it's Jadon Sancho. Do I just press next? Sancho against Liverpool, I believe, because we lost 2-1 against Brighton with the own goal, and we lost 4-0 against Brentford. Boom. First question right. Next question. Can you guys see this? So who was the last player to score for United on Boxing Day in 2020 away at Leicester City? That's a difficult question. It's not multiple choice, by the way, guys. So Boxing Day, 3 years ago, who scored? Leicester. I think I might be wrong. I think it was a 2-2 game. Because I know where I think I know where I watched the game. I think I know the answer. So people saying Cavani, Juan Mata, Greenwood, Rashford, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes. I think it was Bruno. I might be wrong here, but I've got a feeling this was when we went back into some sort of lockdown thing and games were back behind closed doors. And is that not where Bruno done the hat off celebration? Am I talking about the wrong game? Do you remember Bruno used to do that celebration? I'm sure that's where it started, in a 2-2 game. Yeah. I think it was Bruno. What do you guys think? Whatever I see more of in the chat. I can just picture Bruno doing that celebration in front of a blue stadium. I can see the picture. That might have been Chelsea. It might have been the wrong year, but I've got a feeling it's Bruno. Should we go for Bruno? I'm going to go for Bruno because I'm quietly confident. And if I'm wrong here, you guys can laugh at me, alright? So, you guys can... Oh, that's against Brighton? I'm going to go for Bruno. And if I'm wrong, you guys can laugh at me. Oh, it's right. It's right. I'm so glad it was right. That was my reputation on the line right there, guys. Next question. Which current first team player has received 68 yellow cards whilst at Manchester United? Cards. Christmas cards, of course, a common theme. Hang on, why is FP said, hold on, what's going on? You can see the extra info? Oh, sorry. Was I right about the 2-2? So which current first team... Which current first team player has received 68 yellow cards whilst at United? I mean, it's going to be someone who's been here a long time. How many games in a season? On average, 50. So they've been here more than 4 years, right? Let's say if they've been here 4 years, they're picking up 16, 17 yellow cards. That's a lot of yellow cards. I've got a feeling it might be Shaw just because of how long he's been here. I think Bruno's been here nearly 4 years, so probably played close to 200 games. Does he get a yellow card every 3 games? Harry Maguire, been here, 4.5 years? I think it might be Shaw just because of how long he's been here. Evans is the other one I had wondered about. Evans was the other one. Lightning, yeah, I had wondered about. Bruno could get one every 3 games. I could see it. Oh, let's play a mind game with FP, right? FP, I'm rent-free in your head. Would he put Bruno Fernandes as the answer to 2 questions in a row? Evans is a good shout because obviously he was here years ago. I think it might be Shaw or Evans. Oh no, he's put ... FP, don't do this to me. Alright guys, it's between Shaw... Put who you think it is. Whatever name I see the most, we'll go for. Seeing Shaw. It said whilst at United, so probably not Evans. But he was here for a while before he left, wasn't he? Evans didn't play enough before. Okay, so Shaw is the answer I'm seeing the most. Let me skip the adverts. You guys don't want adverts on a Christmas quiz. I don't know what to go for here. I think Shaw is the most common answer in chat. So we're going to put Luke Shaw. It's my guess, but I don't actually know. Also, I thought that Kobe Mainoo yellow card was harsh last week. We were right. Oh, he received his 68th yellow card against Liverpool at Anfield. Ah, was that a little clue showing that picture? Yeah, I think Evans played quite a lot before he left, but I'm not sure. Next question. Who was the last player to score a Boxing Day hat-trick against Wigan Athletic at Old Trafford in 2011? 2011. Chicharito is the shout which came to my head, Chad. Van Persie would have been after. This is before Van Persie. Rooney would be the other shout. I think it's Javier. I've got a feeling Carrick scored in this game as well, like a low drive. Yeah, it's too early for Van Persie. Van Persie joined us in the 2012-13 season. Fergie's last season, that's when Van Persie joined, so it's too early for him. Berbatov's a shout as well. I think it's Hernandez. Hernandez was the one which sprung to my mind. I would be happy also to put Berbatov. I don't think Berbatov did. I would say Hernandez, Rooney, or Berbatov. One of those three. By the way, guys, no Googling. If you Google, you're getting banned. You love Berbatov? Great player. His touch is beautiful. People saying Berbatov, they can remember it? I don't remember the game person. Who? We had a Boxing Day game around this period, like early 2010s. I'm thinking of Newcastle with Hernandez, I think, scoring goals. I think that's where Carrick scored as well. I think I'm thinking of the wrong game. Who are we going for? Berbatov, Hernandez, Rooney. Put what you think in chat. Yeah, I'm thinking 4-3 Newcastle, aren't I? I think, did Carrick score in that game? Or did he... Carrick scored around Christmas one year. Great insight. One word answer. You've Googled it, you won't say, but... Well, Google it afterwards, man. Do your research afterwards. So Berbatov are 4 of the last 5 chats. I'm impatient. Put your answer. Have a guess before you go then, I guess. Okay, so people have gone Berbatov. It was his best calendar year. It's Dimitar, right? Have I spelled that right? Have I spelled that right, guys? Chicharito was my first thought, so go for it. Yeah, we'll do it as a community though. We'll let everyone have a go. Whatever I see most, we'll go for. I have spelled it right? Cool. It was Berbatov. Scored 3 goals during United's 5-0 win. Can we have another 5-0 on Boxing Day against Villa, please? He scored on the 41st, 58th, and 78th. Good stuff, guys. Make sure no Googling questions. Or no Googling the answers. Which opposition manager, hang on, has played against United with a record 7 different clubs? No Googling, guys. No Googling. I reckon Mourinho's not bad. No, it wouldn't be Mourinho, right? He's not managed enough clubs. I reckon, yeah, it's going to be that sort of like Steve Bruce, Sam Allardyce, Alan Pardew, one of those managers who just managed everyone at one point. Roy Hodgson. Ancelotti's not a bad shout. 1, 2. I think Sam Allardyce. What clubs did he manage in the Premier League? Does anyone actually know? I'm trying to think. It's going to be one of those, right? One of those. You know, there's that type of manager who has just managed every club in the Premier League at some point, who was trying not to get relegated. You know, you bring them in February so you don't go down. I'm trying to think of Sam Allardyce early career. Seven teams is a lot. To manage 7 teams is crazy. Does that suggest it's maybe a manager who's managed abroad at some point? Harry Redknapp's a decent shout as well, yeah. I think Sam Allardyce. What do you guys reckon? Should we send Sam Allardyce? FP's got us thinking on this quiz, by the way. He's got us thinking. Any more Big Sam teams? Samuel Allardyce. Go for Big Sam. It could be Roy Hodgson. Put one or the other in chat, guys. Put Sam or Roy. I like how no one's put Hodgson, by the way. They've all put Roy because his surname's difficult to spell. Hodgson, I believe. If I put Sam Allardyce and it says wrong, it's Samuel. FP, I'm going to fight you. Okay, chat has spoken. Sam Allardyce. Roy does have a lot of years. Roy has managed everyone on the planet. This is stressful. Sam Allardyce. West Ham at one point, right? Sam has won the... Most people have said Sam. I would not be at all surprised if it's Roy Hodgson. Have I spelt it right? Sam Allardyce. Pretty sure I have. You've counted 6 Big Sam teams. Roy managed Inter. That's the thing. I'm going to put Sam Allardyce, guys, because most of you... I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sams. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 Roys. We got it right. Which club did you miss then? Bolton, Blackburn, West Ham, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, Everton, and West Brom. We're smashing this, guys. We're flying. FP, you can make it as hard as you like, mate. We're too smart for you. We're too smart. We're getting 16 out of 16. Oh, God. Who scored? Oh, my God. It's literally the game I was just talking about. Who scored a 90th minute winner against Newcastle United at Old Trafford on Boxing Day 2012? Hernandez, I'm sure, scored in that game, but I don't know if he scored the winner. Is that the one where he scores with his backside? Or something? No, I might have made that up. I might be waffling. It's Carrick or Hernandez. You missed Crystal Palace? I can't believe this is literally the game I was talking about earlier. I think it's Hernandez. I think Carrick plays an unbelievable... Go watch the highlights after the stream. I'm convinced Carrick plays this sumptuous little ball over the top of the defence. He does. It's on the edge of the box. Ball comes across to him. Carrick lifts it over the defence. Chicharito gets in and scores. I'm convinced of it. I'm going to look so stupid. Are we going for it? Yes. I think it was a tick. Yes. Scored in the 90th minute to make the game 4-3. I think I didn't watch that game. I think I listened to it on the radio while I was at my nan's or something. Oh, hello. That's a lovely little picture. Don't mind seeing that. Let's just leave that on screen for a second. Which 15-minute period have United scored only 1 goal this season? By the way, once we finish stream, watch the highlights back from Boxing Day 2012. I'm sure Carrick plays it to him. I've got a feeling it might be 0-15. The only reason I say this is because I feel like for ages, every time you watched a game on Sky Sports, we were like, for ages, the only team not to score in the first 15. And Garnacho was the first with his bicycle. Wait, is this in the Prem? Oh, yeah. FP, do you know, is this just Prem, do you know? Because obviously Copenhagen game does throw it out. Yeah, you're right. So Premier League, says FP, so it's Premier League only. I think it's 0-15, and I think Garnacho's the only one. What do we reckon? I think 0-15. 76-90. What early goals have we scored in the Premier season? So Wolves, we scored late. Who did we play after Wolves? Spurs, we lost 2-0. Arsenal, don't think we scored first 15. Brentford, we scored late. Forest, we were 2-0 down inside 10 minutes. Everton, Garnacho bicycle. City, no. Chelsea, no, right? I think it's 0 to 15. What other random game? Just think of random games from so far this season. Burnley, Bruno Screamer. Sheffield United, Dallo late Screamer. I'm going 0 to 15. Oh, I got it wrong. Did anyone say that? That's crazy. No one said that though, right? Close enough? Yeah, it's close enough, right? I would never have guessed it was that one, by the way. That one didn't enter my mind. Yeah, so the only goal was Bruno Fernandes versus Burnley. I was right. Carrick played the ball over the top. I was sure of it. I'll tell you. What other Prem game have we scored in the first 15 minutes? It's definitely an obvious one somewhere. Anyway, we move on to the next question. I'm just glad none of you were screaming it at me, and then I got it wrong. So on this day, today, 5 years ago, who scored a penalty in United's 5-1 win at Cardiff City in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game as manager? His game. This is hard. This is difficult. Does anyone know? Martial's not a bad shout. I think we scored a free kick in this game as well. Lingard? Who would have been on a penalty is the question. Would Lingard have taken a penalty, do you reckon? Everyone straight away went Lingard, by the way. If you guys, I'm not sure, so if you guys are confident on Lingard, I'm happy to send it. I think Pogba scored in the game. I think Lingard scored in the game. I think Martial scored in the game, and I think Rashford did as well. I think we scored a free kick, but I might be wrong on that. I remember watching the game though. Everyone's saying Lingard. You guys were pretty confident, and I'm unsure, so I'm just happy to send it for the first confident answer I saw. Pogba was on penalty until Bruno's arrived. This is the problem. I got a feeling Pogba. Rashford scored a free kick. I'm so smart. I have no idea, I'll be honest. I think I know roughly who scored in the game. You guys were confident on Lingard. So this one's on you. If you get it right, you get the credit. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Corey is right, by the way. Thank FP for the quiz. He made this whole thing by himself. I'm nothing to do with this. This is completely FP, the absolute legend. He's not getting paid for it or anything. He just done it out of his own kindness. Sorry. Good stuff, though, guys. On to the next question. Which current first-team player has made 103 appearances as a substitute for Manchester United? 103, that's a lot. That's several seasons on the bench. Martial. This one should be simple. Oh, why have you said that? FV, don't say that, man. Okay, so you guys have straight away gone to Martial. Nuruddin said about Evans. Has Martial even made 103 performances? Martial's a good shout. Rashford? Mata? Current first team. Martial's been here for almost a decade. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? McTominay? I hate that FP has gone, yeah, this one's pretty simple, and we're stumped. You guys are backing Martial here. Who is an obvious... Do we have an obvious super sub of the past few years? McTominay, is he an obvious super sub at times? Been here a while? I don't think so. Should we go Martial? I'm going to go for Martial. And it's fine. FP's disappearing for a few minutes, so we'll just lie to him about how many we got right. Should we send Martial? Oh, I didn't see who it was. Rashford. Next question. Early career, he was on the bench a lot, wasn't he? On this day, 22nd of December 2001, how many of you guys were born then? Who scored a hat-trick in United's 6-1 Premier League win at Old Trafford against Southampton? Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't watching football at this age. It's on you, AJ. I wasn't born. How are you putting it on me? Everyone's just guessing Van Nistelrooy and hoping for the best. 1 sec, I just got to check something. Should we know it? Do you reckon we should know it or no? Do you reckon it's going to be obvious? I have nothing which... We good? Cool. I have nothing which is jumping to me. I like Van Nistelrooy. I just want to Google the spelling of Van Nistelrooy, actually. I just want to Google the spelling rather than trying to spell it. I'm going to go for Van Nistelrooy. I think it's Van Nistelrooy. Would be my guess. We got it right. Goals were scored in the 1st, the 34th, and the 54th. I was going to say he scored early for some reason. I don't know why I had that in my head. Maybe I'm just waffling. I can't believe we got 2 questions wrong. I'm actually gutted. Next question. Is the stream working for you guys? Is everything working for you guys? Just let me know in chat because it's kind of buffering on my end a little bit. All fine? Cool. Let me get that. Cut out temporarily, but it's good. All right. Here we go. Which opponent manager made it 3 Premier League wins in a row at Old Trafford earlier this season? Sorry, YouTube's having a slight problem here. I'm just going to tell it to shut up and get on with it. Yeah, the Ten Hag picture makes me feel a little bit sad. Which opponent manager made it 3 wins in a row at Old Trafford earlier this season? Who's won at Old Trafford this season then? Everyone. Zerbi? He can't have. The question, the problem is, I don't know. Is it this particular manager has won their last 3 games at Old Trafford, or I think it's a team which, like, I think the context is which manager has beaten us at Old Trafford the last 3 years. Roy Hodgson is what I like. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because they 20. No, that's the wrong year. Never mind. I think it's Roy Hodgson, Eddie Howe. I think that was at Newcastle. Went to that game. Have we played Newcastle at Old Trafford? I thought that was an away game. How do I spell Hodgson? I think it's like that. Yeah, I don't quite understand the question. Is it we lost 3 games in a row, who was the 3rd one this season? Or is it which manager has beaten us in each of the last 3 seasons? I'm not quite sure. Oh, Newcastle at Old Trafford was the cup. Got you. We lost the last 3 league home games to Brighton. But last year it would have been De Zerbi. I think it's Roy Hodgson, but I'm not quite sure in the context of the question. We're going to send Roy. Yes. Ah, so he must have been out of a job in between. Got you. Got you. Oh, so I was right about this one as well then. Cool. Which current Premier League manager faced United in the final group game of the 1999 to 2000 FIFA World Club Championship, the Club World Cup? Guys, anyone know this one? Current Premier League managers. Was it Pep Guardiola? I think so. Who's old? It's not that long ago, is it? It's not, you're not old 24 years ago. So it's not Roy Hodgson. Premier League managers. It's not Arteta. It's not Pochettino, right? I'm struggling to think of Premier League managers. It's not Eddie Howe. It's not like Heckingbottom. It's not Unai Emery, is it? Oh yeah, did they face us as a manager or as a player? Good question. Not sure. Anyone have any idea who he played in this game? Gary O'Neill, yeah, I doubt it's him. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is as a player or as a manager. I'm not sure. Who else is in the Premier League as a manager right now? David Moyes. If it's manager, it could be Roy Hodgson again, because like you said, he's just been all over the planet. If it's playing, then I don't know. I'm run out of Premier League teams. Sean Dyche, I doubt it was Sean Dyche. Fulham, was it Marco Silva? Who else is in the Premier League, guys? Anyone know? Zerbi. Pardon me. Postecoglou. Was it Onge because Melbourne and United were in the same group? I mean, that's a great bit of knowledge. I can't think, guys. South Melbourne, I believe. Sorry. Guys, whatever name I see the most, I'm going to put. So, spam whoever you think it was. Just need to get in touch with someone real quick. Spam in chat who you think it was. I'll read it in 1 sec. I just need to quickly message someone something. Was anyone watching this particular tournament? Does anyone know? Did we win? That'd be cool if we won. I'm gonna sneeze. And I've lost my YouTube page now. Not at 2 years old, I wasn't. Yeah. YouTube trying to run ads. We'll skip that for you guys. I like the knowledge from Josh, you know. I think I know how to spell Postecoglou's name. I will just Google it. Postecog. Yeah. Are we going for Postecoglou? If you just have that knowledge out of nowhere, by the way, it's incredible. Like, fair play you. That is... If Josh has cooked something here... What? How do you know that? How do you know that? Manager at the time. What a shout that is. Alright. Spam the 100 emojis in chat, by the way, if you're a member. If you're a channel member, spam the 100 emoji. That's insane knowledge. I think there's a slight delay between what I'm saying and what you guys are hearing, so I just need to take that into consideration. If it's just a guess, I respect it. Okay, which first team player has been substituted off the most times this season? What do we reckon? Because he's Australian. Yeah, it's a decent guess, to be fair. Rashford would be a shout. Martial, I doubt, has started enough games to get subbed off. Garnacho's a decent shout. Hoyland? Possibly. Is the 20 a clue, do you reckon? Do you reckon it's Dallo? Yeah, it's not Bruno. It's not McTominay, because I think he plays a lot of 90s. Lisandro Martinez, early season, but not since then. Anthony. I doubt it's our centre-backs. Was Casemiro getting subbed a lot? No, he hasn't played enough games. I reckon it's a winger. Or I think it's a forward. I feel like realistically, you're not changing your fullbacks. It's not sure because he's been injured too much. Wan-Bissaka's missed too big a spell. Garnacho, Hoyland? Do you reckon? Yeah, Martial's obviously a shout because he hasn't completed a full 90 for ages. But he doesn't start that many. FP, sharp. We got the Postecoglou one, right? Or I say we, Josh got it. You guys are sticking to Hoyland? I'm happy with that as a guess. Again, it's right. Go through the average starting 11. Or was it Eriksen early season? Because obviously Rasmus didn't start or didn't play the first few games because he weren't at the football club. Just remember you said Rashford. Rashford, I think Rashford's a shout. Whatever you guys put most, quickly put a name, either Hoyland or Rashford or whoever. Whoever you think it is, say their name, whatever name I see the most. So Ali says Anthony. Corey says Rashford. MUFC says Hoyland. Hoyland is the first name I'm seeing in chat, so we're going to go with that. Garnacho is a good shout as well, though. Okay, you guys are saying Hoyland. I'm really not sure. I have no idea on this one. Does Hoyland come off a lot? He does come off a fair amount, doesn't he? Let's go for Rasmus. Oh, it's wrong. Garnacho. A few of you did say Garnacho, to be fair. We narrowed it down to the forwards, at least, right? We take that. We move on to the next question. We had it within... We thought it was one of those guys. Ali said Anthony. Several said Hoyland. A few said Garnacho. We were there or thereabouts. Garnacho. You guys should have said Garnacho when I said say a name. Next one. On the 21st of December 2009, who scored United's winner in our FIFA World Club Championship final? Club World Cup victory. 2009. Who scored the winner? This season's 2008, isn't it? This kit. Club World Cup final, 2009. Who do we reckon? Tevez, decent shout. Definitely at the club in that period. I don't... Unless it's someone random like Nani, for example. Chicken Nani pulled something out of the bag out of nowhere. What do we reckon, guys? What do we reckon? At a Club World Cup 2008, but was played in 2009. Okay. Obviously, you know, Ronaldo, half decent shout. Corey says my favourite player of all time. Who's that? Obviously, Rooney's a shout. This was an unbelievably good team, by the way. Corey, who's your favourite player of all time? I'm interested to see who you go for. I'll always back Rooney just because he's my favourite player ever. Rooney or Ronaldo? I'm happy to narrow it down to those two. What do we reckon? Rooney or Ronaldo, guys? I'm going to go Rooney. Remember, no Googling the answers. You're not allowed to Google it. It's cheating. I think Rooney. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm going to back myself this time. Wayne Rooney. Bosh. Again, that would have been embarrassing if it was wrong. Scored the only goal of the game in the 73rd minute. Our first and only Club World Cup. Corey, I'm with you there. Rooney is my favourite player of all time as well at United. Probably if he's my favourite footballer ever. By the way, guys, remember, no Googling the answers. Who was the last player to score a hat-trick for United? Unless you count the Intercontinental Cup. I reckon we've got one coming in the next few years, right? Who was the first player to score, the last player to score a hat-trick for United? Ronaldo, yeah. Obviously, it's not this Rashford one. That was a while ago now in the Champions League. I think Ronaldo is a very decent shout straight off the bat. Martial? Bruno against Leeds. What season was that? I don't even know what season that was. That was first day of the season 1 year. That was before Ronaldo joined the club. I think that was before Ronaldo joined the club, the Bruno one. I might be wrong. Ronaldo against Spurs as well. Yeah, true. I think it's Ronaldo. Can't spell. Yeah, there's a Ronaldo one against Norwich, and he had one against Spurs. I don't know. Spurs was earlier in the season, right? Norwich was later. Because he scored that free kick, which was an average free kick, but it went in, so he took it. Ronaldo? You guys happy with that? Seems like everyone's happy with the answer. We got it right. Versus Norwich, 16th of April. 3-2 Premier League win at Old Trafford. We only beat Norwich 3-2. It's not great. Next question. The final question, I believe. Is this the final question? I think it is. As a football club, how many times have Newton Heath and Manchester United played on Christmas Day and Boxing Day in the same season? That's crazy. So 2 games. How many times, basically, have Newton Heath or United, Newton Heath being our old name, played 2 games in 2 days? That's not... Am I reading that? I'm reading that right? As a football club, it could be 0. This could be a trick question. Christmas Day and Boxing Day. It's either 0 or it's weirdly high from like 80 odd years ago. Is FP playing mind games by going whoever's closest? Is he playing mind games with us? FP, look me in the eye. What do we reckon? Guess a random number, basically. You either think 0 or go for a random number. Anyone Googling it, you're getting banned. Don't give up now. I've got the number 17 in my head. There's literally no reason. It's just a number which I'm sure you've heard about teams. 66. Guys, basically, just throw a random number out there. I'm thinking 17. Let me know what you guys think. Matt says 6. I'm seeing 66. Yeah, guys, numbers in chat. I can see who's typing. Just put a number in chat, whatever one you think it is. Maybe it's a few people are going for the big old 0. 0 was my first thought because I just thought he's just taking the mick here. 0. 7, 23. I think 0 is the number I've seen the most. 23 I've seen a couple of times, or was that the same person twice? You know what? I've seen a few people go for 0. So what I'm going to do is go for 0 just in case he's bluffing here. And I don't want him to have the satisfaction of tricking us. So we're going to go for 0, alright guys? Did someone say 24? I mean... Bowser? Said 23? Josh, mate, saying the answer once we've revealed is not quite as impressive. 24 times. My 17 went a mile off, I guess. But that is the quiz finished. Have you guys had music on that whole time, by the way? I think I might have accidentally been playing music. What do you need to study? No, we don't need to learn what to study. We know what we need to study. 12 out of 16. I think that's a decent shift. Guys, make sure to say thank you to FP in the chat for that quiz. Did I say that right? Say thank you, guys. Yeah, 75%. I think we take that. Because FP, like I said, just made that off his own back for something to do. So spam some love hearts. 23 was the nearest guest. Yep. Yes. Spam the green love hearts. Change the chat bold or green, one of the two. Spam it in the chat. Thank you very much, FP, for doing that. Ali with a lovely little donation before we finish as well, saying big up FP for this awesome quiz. That was a lot of fun. Great stream as always, AJ. Big up this community. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for the donation, guys, Ali. So again, guys, turn the chat green. Love hearts. I'm not seeing enough love hearts here. Love hearts, love hearts, love hearts. Yeah, imagine Jurgen Klopp in the media these days if Liverpool play 2 games in 2 days. Hats off to FP. Hats off. What a man. Look at the state of this, by the way. Absolute mop. Thank you guys very much, though, for that stream. Thank you, Ali, for the donations. We had VK with some gifted memberships early on in the stream as well. Oh, I broke my green screen. You can see it slightly there. I think we are going to wrap the stream up there. So, thank you guys very much for all the support this week. It's been a really good week of streaming. I've streamed for the last 4 days. 3 on YouTube, 1 on Discord. Tomorrow, no video in the morning, but tomorrow night, United versus West Ham coverage. Sunday, Arsenal versus Liverpool coverage. Monday and Tuesday off for Christmas, I have to be honest. Pardon me. Then the content will be back after Boxing Day. But in terms of streams, it will probably be next week. So a stream on the 29th, on the Friday, I think is probably when the next stream will be. And yeah, we'll definitely do a quiz again sometime. It might be a once a month thing, maybe. Or maybe when it's just a quiet week of football. But in terms of the streams, we are now finished for the week. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you to everyone who has sat there quietly in chat. Thank you to everyone who has donated, gifted memberships, voted on that quiz, given your thoughts and opinions on the West Ham Man United game. Hope you guys enjoy that game. Also, I hope you all have a great Christmas. Any of you which don't celebrate Christmas, I still hope you have a great holiday season. Great time to just chill out, spend some time with family, friends, relax, watch a bit of football. So I hope you have a great time. Make sure to stay safe, everybody, but also make sure to have some fun as well. And in terms of live streams, I will catch you guys after Christmas, after the holidays, before time for the new year. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. Again, thank you all so much.